Seems like you have a wealth of guys. You got a lot of guys who have a little bit of experience. How are you approaching your group here in fall camp? How do you feel about them?
Well, personally, I'm going to try to have fun. Which is, I think I always do that, but sometimes, like you guys said, you get a little bit tense and just see how the guys react. Now, they've been here. We just had a short meeting, just kind of going over expectations and that kind of thing. And that was my whole deal with them. You've been here now, every one of you, for at least a year. There's not one new person sitting in my room. We have, Isaac Clemente, which come in, but he's actually, with the studs. And right now we have those guys in a different room. Sometimes he will be in my room. But everybody in my room has gone through a fall practice and gone through a spring practice. So my expectations are high for them as far as just being able to do the things that I ask them to do. I should be able to relax a little bit because I know we have told them what we expect and the way we expect them to do it. Now it's up to them to get it done. And I think there's a lot of those young guys, all of those guys that came in last fall. And you guys have heard me say this before. During this two-a-day period, a lot of times is I think when guys like that make their biggest jump, because they've been through that fall practice, they know what to expect. They've been through spring practice. They just went through all of their PRPs. So I'm excited because I want to see how far those guys go from when we walked off the field last spring to when we kick it off September the 2nd.
With you kind of mentioned, a lot last year, you relied on 4 or 5 guys quite a bit, more than you probably wanted to, because those younger guys maybe hadn't quite stepped up as you would have hoped. If they make that leap, obviously you got to feel pretty confident about your options.
Yes, I think we have those guys that have a chance. Here's the thing that I think is our biggest challenge, or what we got to find out. We have the depth with the bodies. How are they going to react when there's a tough situation? Because not very many of them's played in a game, and not very many of them especially have played in a game when the game was on the line. The guys that have played, with the exception of David and Durant, have only been in the game when we were ahead.
Right.
So,
high leverage.
Yeah. So that's going to be where the big challenge, I think, is for us up front. Yes, I think we have some kids that are going to be players. But how long is it going to take them to get to that point where they can handle those challenges when they're put in front of them?
With David, we've kind of seen him on some lists for NFL prospects and stuff down the road. For David, for you, what's his ceiling? I guess how much better do you expect him to be this year after his experience last year? You expecting big things from David this year?
Yeah, I am. I think more than anything, though, I'm expecting as a leader. I think David goes right on and plays the way he did and makes some progress as a player. He's obviously bigger, and hopefully, like we talked about earlier, we don't have to play him as much. Then I think that will make him a better player. Will he be as productive? We'll have to see. But the thing that I want to see David, in which I think he started that in the spring, is he's got to lead that room, not only just as a player, but on and off the field, saying and doing the right things, which he's done a good job of that. But keep growing in that leadership role, because not only in our room or our unit or on the defensive side, this football team needs him to do that.
One more. Well, last one for me about Durant. He's a guy that came in, and now we see him at the starting spot ahead of Jabril. Is he ahead of Jabril?
He is playing. Durant is going to play.
Yeah. He's ahead of Chase, right? Yeah. Sorry, but with Durant, we see him atop the depth chart. Started 5 or 6 games last year. Where is he for you? He seems like a guy that has kind of come out of nowhere here this last year or so to be a productive player for you.
I look at him just like really David. You know, when you look at, they're the same class. You know, obviously Durant didn't redshirt. You know, when he come back off his mission, he wanted to play. I think I saw Durant. I know I saw Durant make a huge jump just last year, especially the last part of the season. And I watched his mentality and the way he went about the bowl game, even when we were behind, and his leadership in the spring. He's come a long way since he got here that fall. And it's going to be fun, I think, to watch, hopefully, him go ahead and make another jump this fall. In the position, obviously, that we have him at, because we just talked about having guys that's been in the game before, by us being able to put him at defensive end and play Jabril and those other guys at the stud position. Then that gives us David, you know, at the 3 technique, starting, Durant at the end starting, and then one of those guys at stud that have played. So we got 3 guys on the field that's seen a lot of action. And then Louis will most likely be our starting nose guard. And Louis has seen a little bit of action, but not obviously near as much as those other 3 guys.
You think you have a little size at that position with David sliding back over? What will that do for you guys? Because you're too deep now, 300-pound noses.
I think that's going to be huge for us. David played with great quickness and did some really good things, obviously, last year. But we did end up giving up more yards rushing than, you know, we really wanted to. So now that you got those 2 big guys in the middle, that hopefully will make the offenses have to double team those guys a little bit more. And that should help David and Durant get some one-on-one blocks and still help them be productive.
Yeah, you look at Moa, and you know, we were talking with the Mountain West Media Days about, is there a player that has had more contrasts and styles in terms of off the field versus on the field than David? Because he seems like the nicest guy that you could possibly meet off the field, but then he kind of goes into this mode where he's on the field, and he said that he didn't want to be a dimmer switch. He wanted to be an on-off switch.
Yeah, I think you watch him, when he gets on the field, it's a whole different world, like you were saying. He's so quiet, so mild-mannered. Even in the meeting room, he didn't say a lot. And he doesn't say a lot, you know, around the team. But once you put him on the field, he loves the game. He knows how it has to be played. He knows what he wants to accomplish himself. So it's fun to watch him. It's fun to watch him. I think that's exactly what he is. He turns it on when he walks out there on the field.
Sam Whitney's a name that I've heard a lot. Seems like he's kind of climbed the ladder in terms of things that he's achieved. What have you seen from your perspective as to like how he's earned his way into where he's
come a long ways, you know. Sam is one of those guys that has unbelievable quickness. He loves to play, loves to hit you.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see good things out of him this fall. I think once he's got a special knack for pass rushing. I think he's gotten better and better against the run. And we'll have certain packages for him. You know, it'll be interesting, but I think Sam does some really good things and shows some great quickness.
Okay. And Jabril, now that he's finally healthy,
Yeah.
do you anticipate like maybe a jump from him too?
I do. I think hopefully with a little more depth at that position, those 3 guys, well, really 3 guys over there at that stud position.
Yeah.
You know, with Sam, Jabril, and Curtis Weaver. Those 3 guys. Curtis didn't play last year, but has some ability. But Jabril and Sam both have played a lot of football, so
Yeah.
that's probably have a little more depth there than we do anywhere else. And the big thing you said right off the bat is being able to keep them healthy.
Yeah.
We're going to be more calm this year when
I mean, everybody's saying that. I don't know where it's coming from. You know,
why is that?
I guess because I walked in here and had a smile on my face, they thought I was going to be calm.
Thanks, Coach.
We were